Okay, today we're going to paint the DarkAge St. Mary Clergy Ann version 2. Let's get started. Check out my optivsor. Those are the 6 colors I'm using. And I'm starting off by painting her bodysuit black. Notice that I use the hairdryer quite a bit there. I'm mixing flesh out of red and white and yellow with a tiny dab of green. And then I'm going to wash it with a mix of dark brown, and that dark brown is just made by mixing red and black together. So you can see that the idea is to get that thin enough that it's going to settle in all the nooks and crannies. Again, I'm hitting it with the hairdryer. This is interesting. I'm blacking out the base because the whiteness of the base was kind of giving me a reflection that I didn't like looking at just while I'm painting it. So after painting all that stuff black, I decided I wanted to actually go for a kind of punk game show running man feel to the character. So I went back and painted a whole bunch of stuff white over the black, which unfortunately obscured some of the detail. And the reason why I did that was because I want to get crazy and use some yellow. And yellow typically doesn't cover well over any color other than white. So we're going to go in and paint a helmet and some of her clothing in yellow. And yeah, trying to go for a sort of running man look. Like she's a baddie in a game show where the object is to escape from being killed. So here I'm kind of highlighting the bodysuit a bit in blue to try and make it look kind of shiny. Probably went a bit too far, starting to look a little bit Judge Dredd. So take that back down again with a black wash. Somewhere between a wash and a glaze, where it's just taking the color down, so there'll be some depth. The blue will still be there, but it's not blue. Now I'm painting her boobs. Take steady hands. I also painted stripes on a laser gun. Now I'm starting on the flesh. I'm just progressively adding white to the flesh I mixed earlier. It's the great thing with the wet palette is even an hour later that flesh is still good. It's still good to use. And what am I doing now? I mixed up some lighter flesh. I'm just going up through the shades there. Sometimes your fingers do make a really good palette. You can compare the color of the flesh you've got mixed with actual flesh. Yeah, and I'm just trying to pick out her cheekbones. This is a glaze, so this is going to be a really thin wash. Just things got a little white, a little powdery, so I'm going back in and literally just giving her a little bit more of a bronze tone. So here I need some control. I really need to control the amount of paint on the brush, so I'm using a piece of paper. I find it quite useful to just wipe the paintbrush on a piece of paper. It helps you build the point, but it also helps you control exactly how much paint you've got. Here I'm just going in and dry brushing details like the face mask and the helmet, and then doing a kind of really half-assed NMM look. Here I'm putting epoxy on the base. I put a little Space Guy's helmet and a couple of rocks in there too. And so there she is. She's kind of 80s looking, kind of scruffy looking paint job, a little bit kind of messy and dirty. But that seems to be my style. That's how people say my stuff looks. It looks like it came out of White Dwarf in 1989. And I can live with that. So see you in the next video.